Cool. Okay, so just real quick, just how to export here. So once you have your model, make sure that every piece that you want to be like a standalone piece in the actual 3D print is one full piece and not like a couple different pieces that are currently overlapping. If you have, like, let's say that like I wanted this arm and this top of my frame to be stuck together, I would just use the combine tool and click on both of them and click OK, and it would join the two. Now they're all combined together as one instead of before when they're separate. So go through, make sure, you know, if you're doing only a single body, make sure you only see, you know, one body in your workspace and not multiple. If you have multiple, you'll use the combine tool. Once you're ready to 3D print, you'll drop down your file icon here and you'll click on 3D print. I think your default is already set to manufacturing. You're going to change this from that to export, and then you're going to select the bodies. You're only going to be able to select one at a time. So you're going to select, right now I'm exporting this you know, right arm, and I'm going to do STL, binary or ASCII, it doesn't really matter. I just do binary. I honestly don't know the difference. They all seem to work the same. And then if you can change this to millimeter, if it's not already, that'd be great. It'll help me make sure everything's the correct scale with less work on my end. So much appreciated. You can check on preview, and that'll give you, when you export as an STL, it will triangulate the mesh. So this will preview and show you kind of how many mesh triangles you have. And you can change this, you know. If you have something smooth, these printers are super high resolution. I would definitely recommend just exporting as high. Everything can handle high resolution these days, so there won't be any issues with slowdowns or anything. And then yeah, you'll click OK, and then you'll, you know, you'll name it, you'll choose where you want to save it, and then you'll hit save, and that's it. You'll do that for each individual body that you want me to 3D print, and then you'll submit all of those bodies. Please also, when you submit, send me the Fusion 360 file itself. So if you drop down File and do Export, and save this as a F3D, sometimes you'll see .f3z. That means when you export that and send it to me, I won't be able to open it. So make sure it's an F3D. If you see F3z, it's because you brought into your file like a linked file, and you'll see, I'll show you here real quick. Let me just do, so, you know, if I have this other file that I brought in here, I have this little link icon here, and if I go to export, it now is F3Z. So yeah, make sure that you don't have the F3Z. If you do, you'll have to right click and break link here, and then now it will let you export it as an F3D. So not the end of the world if you brought something in like I did here. Just make sure that you unlink it and then export as an F3D. Yeah, that's it.
F3V or D?
F3D, yeah, as in dog, yeah. Okay, so speaking of exporting laser cut stuff, so these guys have lenses, they're perfectly flat, no curvature to them, which you wouldn't be able to do anything other than a flat lens on the laser cutter. If I want to get this ready to laser cut, what I'll have you do is I'm just gonna click on these bodies and hide them for now so that I only see these. I was pressing V on my keyboard. I also have a little thing that pops up here so you can see what buttons I'm pressing. And then create a new sketch. on the same plane as your lenses, but don't click on the actual lens itself. Kind of hard to explain why. Basically, when you click on the lens itself as the sketch face, it will pull in the geometry data from that lens into the sketch, and you'll end up with redundant data. So basically, don't click on the actual surface of a body. Click on a plane.
Would that make it hard for you if I clicked on the actual body?
What's that?
Would that make it hard to like save it if I click on an actual body?
I can't hear you.
Sorry, would that make it harder? Because you're saying don't click on the object for the sketch. Would that just makes it harder to save or something?
So, no. So when you click on that, it'll basically, when you create a sketch on a body in Fusion, it will project all of the geometry of the face into your sketch, which will end up, when you export the sketch, you'll have basically like redundant geometry.
Okay.
And so the laser cutter will cut it twice or even 3 times, which we don't want. We want a super clean file, just one profile, that's it. So, and if like say your lenses are like, you know, tilted back or whatever, and you don't have, you know, one of these origin planes to create it off of, you can just, if I go back here, you can just create an offset plane. You don't even need to offset it at all. Just make sure that you create your sketch on that plane, so that you don't have all the geometry info. So once you've created that, then you will intentionally pull in the geometry info by pressing P for project. It's also under create, project, include, and project. And then you'll just click on, you don't need to go through and select like each edge. Don't bother with that. Just go ahead and just do both those faces and then click OK. And then if you turn off your bodies, you should see just these lines, and then you'll finish sketch. And then you will find that sketch here. So this is sketch 4. You'll right click it, you'll export DXF, change your units to inch if they're not already. For the laser cutter, it's in inches. For the 3D printer, it's in millimeters. And then turn off visibility, or turn off points, and make sure you leave projected geometry on, because that's what these lines are. So inch, points are turned off, and then these two are both on. You'll click OK, and you'll save it. And then your name, laser cut, and you'll save that as a DXF, which looks like it's the only option. And then you'll save it wherever you want, and you'll send that in to me as well with the rest of your files. Cool. Any questions?
That's good. My lens are like kind of at a weird angle, so I'll probably get off.
What's that?
Sorry, my lens are like kind of, they're not like flat, they're like at an angle a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to offset plane. So
Yeah.
it should be good.
Yeah, you'll have to do that.
Oh, and